and a very well-known, very well-acclaimed international resilience trainer. Very soon, few more minutes to go, we shall be starting with today's webinar. Sir has already started interacting with the participants. Dear participants, please do reply. It's going to be a very interactive session, dear participants. So please start replying. Sir has already started interacting with all of you. He would like to know from where all people have logged in today for this wonderful session. Great. We have participants from Vadodara, Delhi. Yes, Delhi, the weather here is a bit we have participants from Kanpur. Great. We have some participants from Gulf of Oman also.
Right.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful we have participants from across the globe. I think that is the beauty of online sessions, that no longer are longitudes and latitudes any kind of restriction. If you want to learn, if you want to enhance your knowledge, you are always welcome to the session. And what other session than I would be saying this IEEE IETE BVI CAM weekly technical lecture series. So I once again welcome all dear participants today to this 174th IEEE IETE BVI CAM weekly evening technical lecture series. Today, this webinar also marks the beginning of our IEEE Delhi section Golden Jubilee year-long celebrations. Professor M.N. Huda Sir, Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management and Chairperson IEEE Delhi section, has also joined us. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the webinar.
Good evening, Dr. Ritika.
Good
and
evening,
good evening,
sir.
all my friends. Am I audible?
Yes,
Good
sir.
evening. Good
Perfectly.
evening, sir.
Good. Good evening, Mr. Daman. How are you?
All well. Thank you very much.
Please start.
Yes, sir. A very pleasant evening to all distinguished panelists and participants. Bharti Vidyapeeth's Institute of Computer Applications and Management BVI CAM, in association with Computational Intelligence Society CIS chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Computer Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Technology and Engineering Management Society TEMS chapter of IEEE Delhi section, System Man and Cybernetics SMC Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Communication Society of IEEE Delhi section, Consultants Network Affinity CNA Group of IEEE Delhi section, Life Member Affinity LMA Group of IEEE Delhi section, Inter-Society Relations IRS Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi section, Industry Relation and Special Interest Group on Humanitarian Technology, Site Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi section, Region 10 of IEEE, with the Associations of Computer Society of India, Institute of Information Technology Professionals IITP, ISTE Delhi section, and IETE Delhi Center as technical collaborator welcomes you all to the IEEE IETE BVI Camp Technical Lecture Series on Ethics, Integrity, and Professional Code of Conduct, the IEEE Perspective. With immense pride and honor, we are delighted to announce that we, with united hands, mark special contribution for the monumental occasion of the Golden Jubilee celebrations of the IEEE Delhi section from 13th May 2025 to 12th May 2026, we mark 50 years of this vibrant and pioneering section, a journey that began in 1976 and has since shaped the technological and professional landscape of Northern India through innovation, collaboration, and learning. This webinar today is an initiative to celebrate this legacy. According to Kerry Stokes, ethics or simple honesty is the building blocks upon which our whole society is based, and business is a part of our society, and it's integral to the practice of being able to conduct business, that you have a set of honest standards. Ethics, integrity, and a strong professional code of conduct are the backbone of responsible professional life. In this engaging session on the ethics, integrity, and professional code of conduct, we will explore why ethical decision making is essential to building trust, ensuring public safety, and upholding the reputation of the profession. Through real life cases, we'll invite the audience to assess and respond before revealing the appropriate course of action. A thought provoking and interactive experience that reinforces the roles of ethics in every professional journey is promised in this particular session. I would first take this opportunity to welcome amongst us our distinguished panelists for the day. We are privileged to have amongst us a galaxy of experts. I would first request Professor Emin Huda Sir, Director, Bharti Vidyapeeth's Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVI CAM, and Chairperson IEEE Delhi section to address the participants with his inspiring words. Over to you, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, good evening, one and all. At the outset, let me take this opportunity to welcome my friend and for today's important session, a valued speaker, Mr. Daman, who readily agreed to discuss with all of us the ethics, integrity, and professional code of conduct with reference to IEEE. Dear friends, I also take this opportunity to welcome all my friends who have joined from different parts of the country and will be joining because we are a little late in joining now. Dear friends, all of you know that this webinar series was started way back on 20th May 2020 in the backdrop of COVID. And the first speaker of this webinar was also Mr. Daman. So Daman deserves a special appreciation at this moment.
Thank you very much.
And having said that, this is the 5-year landmark we have crossed and we have entered into the 6th year. And when we are into the 6th year, there are two important observations. First, the COVID is again knocking our door. So this implies the need and importance of such sessions, which will keep us busy in active learning processes more, all the more now because of the current backdrop. Second, as Dr. Ritika has already announced that from 13th of May 2025 to 12th of May 2026, IEEE Delhi section is celebrating its Golden Jubilee year. That is the 50th year of its establishment, under which we thought that not only the technical topics which we have been talking since last 5.5 years on this platform and then on many other platforms, let's also assess ourselves that as a professional to which extent we are complying to the requirements of the professional. And that's how today's topic is absolutely different than what we have been talking earlier. But if you remember, the first talk was also related to maintaining good health hygiene and assessing ourselves because that was conducted in almost the peak of the COVID time in 2020. So today's session is on ethics, integrity, and professional code of conduct and IEEE perspective. And when we are talking of ethics, Dr. Ritika has rightly introduced ethics is that building block or the pillar of the honesty and the trust which we can make amongst amongst people during our professional life or professional code of conduct. When it comes to IEEE has a very set procedure and standards for the purpose of maintaining ethics. And many of the members who have joined IEEE, they might be knowing that they have signed a document which is part of that declaration that I will follow the code of conduct and will maintain the ethics and the integrity. When I took over the charge as a chair, they started sending me mail that these are the 3 module of the course on ethics and integrity, which unless you pass, you will not be given these many details. And then finally, I had to find time. Almost 8 hours I have invested in going through those details, and based on those narrations and comprehensions, I had to pass that ethics and integrity course. And then only we will be in a position to do that. So that is why I always say that it is not only a moral principle that guide the behavior in the professional context, but also it is that principle, or rather, in fact, an important principle which facilitate in maintaining trust, honesty, integrity, and a kind of unbiased, transparent working environment amongst the people, with those people who will be working with all of us, with dealing all of us. So that is utmost important. We need to assess ourselves, and with that understanding and objective, this 174th webinar has been organized. I'm sure Mr. Daman, who has been the champion of the ethics and IEEE ambassador, will be in a position to make us to understand that to which extent we are following, to which extent we are ignoring, and ethics is a very has got a very thin line difference that what is ethical and what is not ethical. So we must understand that thin line difference as well. So I'm sure the people who are joining here, joining based on this understanding, that let's understand what is the ethical standard, to which way we should conduct while we are working in a professional domain, and to which way we should resist ourselves from applying anything which is not ethical. So thank you so much for joining this webinar. Now, around webinars have already been announced. If you have not registered so far, please register time and hand with all of us. You may even suggest ways and means that how better and how in best possible manner we can make Golden Jubilee year more memorable, more historic. You can keep on typing your suggestion on in the chat window, and let's together collaborate and make this Golden Jubilee year of IEEE Delhi section, which is the first section of IEEE in the India. So let's make this section as memorable, most historic occasion during the celebration for entire year. Every Saturday, we're meeting at so join 5:30. There will be no skip now. Since last 2 years, we started alternate Saturday, but now for every Saturday being a golden jubilee year, we are organizing this professional meet. So let's join together to make it as memorable as possible. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. God bless you all. Over to you, Dr. Ritika.
Thank you, sir. With this, I would now welcome amongst us our expert speaker, Mr. Damandev Sood, sir, with an e-bouquet.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome to the session,
And
sir.
this bouquet, Dr. Ritika, this bouquet has got very special significance during Golden Jubilee as well. The bouquet is primarily a combination of the flowers of multiple colors. And when it comes the flowers of multiple colors, flowers we love because of its colors and fragrance. And entire world has shifted to e-environment. So we have also shifted to e-bouquet. And during COVID, only I have written two panktis for two couplets for this e-bouquet that बड़ी मुश्किल में हूँ कैसे इजहार करूँ बड़ी मुश्किल में हूँ कैसे इजहार करूँ तू तो खुशबू है कैसे गिरफ्तार करूँ तो हमारे आज के गेस्ट मिस्टर दमन के लिए कि ये खुशबू ये जो फूलों की खुशबू है और रंग बिरंग फूलों के साथ जो हमारे एहसासात जुड़े हैं ये फिजिकल मोड में सचमुच अच्छे लगते हैं लेकिन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड में उससे ज्यादा अच्छे लगते हैं सवाल इस बात का है जिस एहसास और जज्बे के साथ जिस भाव के साथ जिस श्रद्धा के साथ हमने ये रंग बिरंगे फूल और उसकी खुशबू प्रेजेंट की है वो आप तक पहुंच रही है इसका एहसास मुझे हो रहा है थैंक यू सो मच
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful motivation. Mr. Daman, Professor Damandev Sood, sir, is a professor of practice at Chitkara University, Himachal Pradesh. With over 39 years in the industry and over 19 years in the resilience domain, sir is a certified international and corporate trainer with over 15,500 hours of training and teaching experience, achieving 100% NPS and holding over 18 copyrights. Sir is a published author of 10 published books on resilience. In his professional journey with corporates like TCS, Zansa, Continuity, Resilience, City Innovates, EY, HSBC, Sir has played various senior executive roles like principal consultant, group head, practice head, COO, CIO, VP, board member, program director, etc. Sir has also traveled, worked in over 20 countries. An international speaker, Sir has served clients in various industry sectors. During his journey, he has also won multiple national and global awards and has also been inducted into the BCI Hall of Fame. Currently director at the one-person company, DBT Training and Consultancy, Sir serves as an international resilience trainer and consultant. He is also the chair ad hoc committee for Golden Jubilee celebrations, IEEE Delhi section. We are honored to have you amongst us, sir, and I would now request you to kindly enlighten the house. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ritika. Let me share my slides first of all.
Yes, sir.
Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. Good evening, everyone, once again. Session's importance has been talked about by Dr. Ritika and Professor Boda also. This tells us of the highest standards that IEEE maintains. While the focus or perspective is IEEE, the principles are generally common across industry, across globe. These are of global importance. The session is equally important to all of us, whether we are the senior most people, experienced people, or the freshers, new joiners. When I say new joiners means new IEEE members. Every time I look into these, There is a bulb that sparks that we need to take care of this. We shouldn't forget this point. So that's why I requested and the team agreed to hold this session. This has been taught, and the request is 50 years of impact, innovation, resilience, and leadership. Please join us. A special page has been added on Delhi's section website. Please look into that. Endless opportunities exist. Only one of those is these webinars every Saturday. There will be series of webinars, series of lectures, series of workshops, projects, internships, quizzes, competitions, a lot more. And as Professor Koda said, if you have any ideas, please keep writing to us. We'll be happy to welcome all ideas. You can write directly to me also.
It's considered best practice from time to time to evaluate the principles by which we live and work to ensure that they continue to meet the current needs of our members.
Our profession cannot reach its full potential unless it embraces diverse people and ensures that those people can come into the profession, come into the companies and universities and organizations, reach their full potential and fully participate and be rewarded and acknowledged for their accomplishments.
The IEEE Ethics and Member Conduct Committee have brought greater attention to the code of ethics, and they saw opportunities to increase its visibility.
We really felt we had to be specific. We had to call out poor behavior that contributed to denying opportunities, equal opportunities to all our members or to all potential technologists.
IEEE does not police the profession, but as a member-driven, volunteer-led organization, IEEE members help each other live up to their commitments under the IEEE Code of Ethics.
I envision a community where IEEE professionals will not only hold themselves to the highest ethical standards, but also feel empowered to encourage those around them to also do their best.
The latest revision of the IEEE Code of Ethics was approved by the Board of Directors in 2020. Join us now as we explore some of the process and philosophy behind the update.
I believe it's vital that IEEE live up to the ideals expressed in our Code of Ethics, that IEEE be a place where people, both staff and volunteers, feel welcome and included.
IEEE has over 400,000 members around the world, representing a wide diversity of regions, disciplines, and interests. But what every IEEE member has in common is their commitment to the IEEE Code of Ethics, the shared set of principles that we commit to when we join IEEE and become an IEEE member, and which we reaffirm each year when we renew our membership.
As the world evolves and the profession expands into exciting new directions, unforeseen ethical questions will inevitably follow. And it's important for IEEE to take proactive steps to equip our members with a framework of personal, professional accountability while protecting the safety, privacy, and well-being of others.
IEEE is in an interesting place. We adopted our Code of Ethics in 1912, making us the first of the engineering associations to adopt a Code of Ethics. We're far ahead of the pack, and today we continue to be pretty heavily involved in working out what the next steps are that we need to worry about.
Just as our technical fields change over time, the IEEE Code of Ethics is not a static document. It can be changed when needed when IEEE recognizes the need to clarify or extend our professional commitments.
The main changes that we were making in the Code of Ethics were around how we treat our colleagues in the profession, not so much about what we actually do as professional engineers in terms of what we build and make sure that we're educated in the latest techniques and that we're ethical in the designs that we build. We were really changing the Code of Ethics to speak to how we treat people, that we treat them fairly and with respect, that we don't harass people, that we don't engage in discrimination, that we don't injure other people, not just through our designs failing, but in the things that we say to them and the way that we treat them.
It is important that IEEE Code of Ethics remain top of the mind for technologists, and the best way to ensure that is to integrate the Code of Ethics into everything we do.
It's my hope that as we move forward, that we can work together to ensure that IEEE continues to support robust diversity of thought, where differences of opinion can be discussed and resolved collegially, and where we can find consensus in expanding and furthering IEEE's mission.
We don't place ourselves above society. We're advancing technology for humanity. That's our purpose. And paying attention to the needs of humanity, that's part of being aware of that and part of being able to respond and modify the Code of Ethics as required.
I really think that IEEE has a unique opportunity to be the voice of the profession, to be the place where everyone in the profession, other professional organizations, universities, companies, look for leadership.
As some members become exposed to the Code of Ethics, we began to see a global adoption from various IEEE stakeholders in the months and years to come. Our hope is that we continue to have open conversation about the importance of the IEEE Code of Ethics, and that it will become an integral part of our life and our professions.
I hope you can continue to see my slides. Someone can confirm, please.
Yes, sir.
Great. So this movie was about 2.5 years old. Few things have changed since then. We are not 400,000 members. We are about 500,000 members across globe. While as engineers or technocrats, we may appear to be dealing with machines, with hardware, software, non-living things, objects. But ethics are important because of we, the people. It's people business. IEEE is people business. And that's why we need to understand how to treat people, how to behave with people. And that's why these code of conduct and code of ethics has been brought into picture. And when it comes to ethics, there is no difference. We all are equal. No difference between me, you, Dr. Ritika, Professor Hoda, chair of the section, executive committee of the section. Everyone has to demonstrate and live by the same levels when it comes to ethics. I've also attempted to keep the session differently. There's a lot to cover. I'll be presenting like questions rather than telling, as if you have already understood the topic, but it's a revision just before the exam. I'll throw the question first and I'll myself show the answer also, or the correct option also, if there are multiple options to pick from. By reading these, we will understand more. Our level of understanding, preparedness will go up. So the first one series is true or false questions. IEEE members are required to treat others respectfully and protect their privacy. I'm sure there are no guesses here. This statement is true. That's what we need to do. We need to live with this. Harassment or bullying behavior is acceptable in IEEE activities if it occurs online. And that's not correct. Thank you very much. Someone is typing. Please do that. No challenge at all. IEEE members should avoid injuring others' reputations or employment by false or malicious actions. It says should avoid. This is true. We need to live by this behavior. We need to display this behavior. Keep typing. Yes, that's good interaction. IEEE allows retaliation against someone reporting misconduct. The statement tells that we are supposed to report misconduct if we find either someone doing to someone else or doing to us. We must report. That's the first action, first expectation also. But does it allow retaliation? Oh, this is not correct. IEEE does not require members to comply with the laws in countries where it conducts business. We always have to pay attention. Does not, which means it has to be false. We need to follow the law of the land wherever we are in the world, whichever country. And for that reason, as these sessions are kept open to anyone, everywhere, from any place, any country, because these concepts are same across globe. Conflicts of interest must be avoided or disclosed by IEEE members. Conflicts of interest must be, I was waiting for some thing appearing in the text box. This is true. We must avoid all types of conflicts. IEEE engages in price fixing or manipulating bids in a competitive process if it's done professionally. And this would be wrong. There is no profession of doing wrong. So price fixing, manipulating bids is not allowed, must not be done. Protecting intellectual property is part of IEEE's code of conduct. We must protect IPs, IPRs, our own and someone else's also, both ways. So this is how, as I said, while I'm saying questions, I'm throwing questions, but this is as if we are discussing, reading that. So our learning goes up. A different type, so temperature goes up. Now these are poles. What is one key principle of the IEEE Code of Conduct? Options here. I'll wait for a few seconds. If you wish, you can type it. If you know, even if you don't know, you're not sure whether you know it rightly, wrongly, type in. I'll tell you the right, correct response. What is one key principle of the IEEE Code of Conduct? The respect for others. Now, while in the Code of Conduct, it may be only one bullet. We need to respect each other, but I could deliver one full hour webinar on this topic itself. Respect for others, it means a lot. And someday we will do that as well. Number 2, which of the following behaviors is prohibited by the IEEE Code of Conduct? Very good. So collaboration is allowed. And by the way, we have our own networking platform, which is known as Collaboratech. So collaboration is allowed, networking is allowed, sharing knowledge is allowed, but bullying is not. Thank you very much. What should IEEE members avoid to protect others' reputation? Thank you very much. Keep typing, please. D is not correct. It says, what do we need to avoid? Promoting team efforts is good practice, right? So it has to be B. spreading malicious rumors. When we spread rumors about others, we hurt their reputation, right? So what should IEEE members avoid to protect others' reputation? We should not spread rumors. Next one. What is the IEEE stance on bribery? Accept it only in extreme cases, reject it in all forms, allow it in international deals, only reject monetary bribery. Thank you very much. Bribery is to be rejected in all cases of all types, whether it is monetary or otherwise. Bribery is not to be done, whether offering or accepting. Which of the following? Oh, the response comes even before I have read it. Good. Which of the following is considered a conflict of interest in the IEEE activities? Attending a conference, accepting personal favors from a vendor, participating in a group discussion, publishing a research paper. So publishing research paper is one of the activities that we would do in IEEE. Group discussions are allowed, acceptable. That's one way of learning, sharing. And we do hold conferences, so attending conferences fine, which means accepting personal favors from a vendor is a conflict of interest. We must not do that. Number 6 says, what is one way IEEE members should protect confidential information? So this gets linked with what is very live, hot topic in the world today, cybersecurity. Share it publicly would be wrong. Use it for personal gain would be wrong. Store it securely is the right response. And ignoring confidentiality policies is not correct. C, thank you very much. Number 7 says, what actions are required by IEEE members to comply with laws? And you see, there may be more than one correct here. Choose all that apply. What actions are required by IEEE members to comply with laws? Avoid bribery, fix prices with competitors, disclose conflicts of interest, manipulate bids in competitive bidding processes. Little extra time required. A is one, there could be multiple because it says choose all that apply. Avoid bribery and disclose conflicts of interest, which also tells us this is how we have to interpret it. It's not just a question here, multiple choice question, and you're picking up what is correct according to you. But interpret it. The moment I say disclose conflicts of interest, there is an admittance that there can be conflicts of interest in life. But the moment there is, we must disclose it. So for example, from another professional organization, some awards are being given. I'm one of the judges for those awards. It's possible that an application comes from one of my clients. This is a conflict of interest that I must declare. I declare, and then that application will not be scored by me. This is how we then resolve that conflict. How should IEEE members treat others? With respect, by protecting their personal information, by ignoring them, or by engaging in gossip. Engaging in gossip, ignoring, not correct, so it has to be A and B. We need to treat people, other IEEE members, and as I said, it's not only for IEEE. The principles are same, so even non-IEEE members need to be treated with respect and by protecting their personal information. Number 9, what should be avoided according to the IEEE Code of Conduct? retaliation, discrimination, ethical behavior, bullying. And we need to be very careful when we are reading these, even if it's not a live, a real exam or assessment. Sometimes there may be not, and sometimes there is what is to be done, what is to be avoided. So we must avoid retaliation, we must avoid discrimination, but ethical behavior is to be observed, which means bullying also is to be avoided. So A, B, and C, D, sorry, A, B, and D to be avoided. Ethical behavior is to be demonstrated. Next one. What constitutes harassment under the IEEE Code of Conduct? What is harassment? Cyberbullying, physical threats, mutual professional criticism, unsolicited personal advances. Many companies, many institutes today have policies about sexual harassment also. This one takes us towards that as well. So, what is harassment? Cyberbullying is physical threats are and unsolicited personal advances are, which means then these need to be avoided, and if we see, we need to report. But mutual professional criticism is acceptable, is fine, it's good practice. Number 11, what type of intellectual property misuse should IEEE members avoid? When it comes to IP, what should we avoid? Sharing confidential materials, claiming others' work as their own, using copyrighted content without permission, and citing a source accurately. AC is one response, good. I'll wait for a few more seconds. ABC has started coming up. You have taken some time and then you're getting it right. Thank you very much. Citing a source accurately is okay. Using copyrighted content without permission is not okay. Claiming others' work as their own, our own is not okay. And sharing confidential materials is not okay. We must follow the confidentiality of each document of each organization. It may be different. And that's why even the classification of documents is a big topic in the corporate world. We need to learn that. What protections must IEEE members offer to those reporting misconduct? Again, to understand the reason this has come up, that we don't, as human beings, we don't report. This is one of the biggest challenges in the world. Anywhere, any country, any company, any organization, that we don't report. Because multiple reasons, none of my business is one attitude that we have. This is linked to culture also. Or I don't want to report about someone who is my boss, superior. Or I don't want to report about someone who's my close friend. So we need to provide protection so that people report openly, whether it is conflict of interest or whether it is bullying or whether it is any misconduct of any type. So what protections must IEEE members offer to those reporting misconduct? That if you report them on, it will be kept confidential. And you are respected that you are reporting. Retaliation is not the protection that we will be providing, and legal assistance is not the protection that we will be providing to them. So I hope temperature had gone a little higher. So let's tone it down once again. True false statements. IEEE members are obligated to hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public. True or false? Thank you very much. So whatever products or services we are developing, those need to have these specifications that public safety, health, and welfare is not put in danger. Very important point here. IEEE members can engage in harassment as long as it is not sexual harassment. True or false? Okay, I saw some true also. It has to be false. No harassment is allowed. No harassment of any type. Thank you very much. Next one says IEEE members should reject all forms of bribery. We had covered this in a different way earlier. So yes, answer has to be true. Thank you very much. Once again, raising the temperature. What should IEEE members prioritize according to the Code of Ethics? Financial issues, the health, safety, and welfare of the public, gaining competitive advantage, intellectual property infringement. Code of Ethics. Priority doesn't mean what is wrong or right, true or false. It may be just the prioritization. All may be correct. What should IEEE members prioritize according to the Code of Ethics? D actually will not be correct. Intellectual property infringement. No infringements to be done. So D cannot be. Most important for IEEE is that whatever products or services we are delivering, we are developing, those should be good, should not harm the public health, safety, and welfare of the public is top priority. What must IEEE members do when they find errors in technical work? Hide them, report them, and correct them. Ignore them if they are small. Blame others. Thank you very much. B is the correct option. If you find some mistakes, we should report and also attempt to correct either ourselves, or I may find that I'm not capable, I cannot. Then get it corrected by the person who is responsible and who can. Which of the following is a professional responsibility according to IEEE's Code of Ethics? Sometimes we say COE also, IEEE COE, Code of Ethics. Engaging in lawful but unethical behavior, accepting all forms of bribery, avoiding conflicts of interest, engaging in malicious rumors. So it is our responsibility, all of us. A cannot be correct. Engaging in lawful but unethical behavior. We cannot engage in unethical behavior of any type. So all of us have a responsibility to avoid conflicts of interest. Next one says, what actions are IEEE members required to take in professional activities? Be realistic in claims and estimates, and there can be more than one correct here. Once again, protect the privacy of others, spread false rumors about competitors, accept all technical work without criticism. Thank you very much. Be realistic in claims and estimates, and protect the privacy of others. Quickly, a point when we say realistic in claims, linked with this is in our work, IEEE volunteer work that we all do, we may have to spend some money. We do get some support from IEEE. We do generate some funds for some activities, but we must keep all the original receipts of all expenses. That is what is required and gets linked with A here, being realistic in claims. 17 says, what are IEEE members expected to do to maintain professional integrity? Correct errors and acknowledge them. Accept bribes to advance projects. Provide honest criticism of technical work and or discriminate against certain individuals. AC, good. So D cannot be no discrimination, no bribes. So it comes to be correcting errors and acknowledging. It may be acknowledging and correcting. Order may be different, but the statement is correct to be followed. And C, provide honest criticism of technical work, if we can. A different type, which is the last degree level, I may say, that I'm presenting a case. The situation is this. So in each case, I will be presenting a situation and options, and you'll have to pick up the correct one. I'll keep doing as I've been doing, showing. In the interest of time, I've been going fast, and that's the reason that I'm displaying answers quickly. So you are working on a project with an international team. During a team meeting, a colleague accidentally shares personal information about a team member's health condition that should have been kept confidential. What should you do now? No one would like to say A, ignore the breach and continue the meeting. No one would like to say D, also, I believe, use the information for personal advantage. No one would like to spread the information to other colleagues. So what is correct is option B when we say report the incident. I'm repeating this. Having gone across companies, countries, industry sectors in different roles, including as an auditor also, that people don't report. It's not that the incidents don't happen. Even in the best organizations, college, institute, university, any company, government or private, incidents would happen, but we don't report. So that's why B becomes part of our ethics itself. Report the incident to the team leader and ensure corrective actions are taken. Case 2. You notice that a senior IEEE member is constantly making unwelcome comments towards a junior employee, creating an uncomfortable work environment. Question to you is, what is the correct course of action according to the IEEE COE? Ignore the situation? Never. So none of my business attitude should not exist. This is a cultural change also that we need to bring in within ourselves, within our organizations. Report the harassments to the HR department or appropriate authority, whoever it is. Confront the senior member directly in a harsh tone? No. Join in with the senior member to fit in. B will be the correct one. To make it easy then, in many organizations, I'm sure even if you do not know about your organization, within your organization, it may or may not exist, but you would have come across in the last few years in the globe somewhere, something like that happening, which is called whistleblower. whistleblower policy. To make it easy for us to report incorrect happenings, unethical happenings, without disclosing our names, the companies, organizations create a whistleblower policy, whistleblower arrangement, where we can report without disclosing our names, without disclosing our identity. The next case is you are reviewing a colleague's technical work. You realize that you have personal investments in a company that could benefit from the results of the review. What should you do according to the IEEE COE? Continue with the review, but keep quiet about your conflict of interest. I'm sure no one would like to pick A. Conflict of interests are always to be admitted, are always to be brought out. Option D says, disclose the conflict of interest to your team and recuse yourself from the review. One response B, more responses B. I believe it is correct. But C, manipulate the review in a way that benefits your investments, not to be done. D, ask a colleague to secretly review the work on your behalf while you are yourself moving away, but still asking someone else to do it. Even that is not correct. Next case is a new client asks you to speed up a project by cutting corners on safety regulations, which would violate the laws of the country. What should you do now? A client is asking you to do this. Agree to the request to please the client, because customer is king, we have always been taught. This could fetch you more business in future. What else do you want? But A is not correct. Refuse to comply with the request and explain that it violates both local laws and IEEE's ethical standard. Won't we like to stay with B? C says ignore the safety violations as long as no one will notice. No. Top priority for IEEE, according to IEEE, in whatever products or services we provide or we generate, is public health safety. And D, proceed with the client's request and hope for the best. Please do not do that. Case 5 is situation. You're working on a project where you need to use a piece of code from an external source. The code is proprietary and you do not have permission to use it. So question is, what is the appropriate course of action? Use the code anyway since no one will notice. Please do not do that. In Hindi there is a saying, कोई और ना भी देख रहा हो तो मैं तो देख ही रहा हूं. Or if the God is noticing it. So A is not correct, cannot be correct. B says ask for permission from the original source before using the code. Makes sense. Copy the code but modify it slightly to avoid detection. Not allowed. And this is true about the papers that we submit in IEEE. By just making small changes, it doesn't become ours. So don't do that, please. And D, attribute the code as your own work. No way. Next case says, you overhear some of your colleagues spreading false rumors about another IEEE member's professional competence. So what action should you take? Spread the rumor further to protect your own reputation? Do nothing as it doesn't concern you? Confront your colleagues and ask them to stop spreading false rumors? Join in the discussion to appear friendly. Response is coming as C, and I would like to stay with that. Confront your colleagues. Once again, IEEE or no IEEE, in life, None of my business behavior has to be changed. It is my business. I'm part of IEEE. You are part of IEEE. If by chance some of the participants are not yet, we would encourage them to be part of IEEE. And again, if you want to know, please get in touch with us. Repeating that we are celebrating Golden Jubilee years. It's a great organization, IEEE and IEEE Delhi section. So the situation here is during a technical review session, a colleague presents work that contains a small but significant error. They seem unaware of it. What should you do? Ignore the error to avoid embarrassing the colleague? No, do not ignore, please. Point out the error in a respectful and constructive manner that makes sense. Criticize them harshly to show your expertise? No, that's not good. That's not good behavior. And privately tell others about the error without informing the colleague. That doesn't help. So again, D is not correct. There is an error, so that needs to be corrected. If the situation is you are part of a project where you discover that a new technology being developed would have potential harmful effects on the environment. However, your company prefers not to disclose this information to the public. What should you do according to the IEEE Code of Ethics? Keep quiet and follow the company's instructions? I guess that cannot be correct. Disclose the environmental risks to the public as per IEEE's ethical guidelines. Modify the data to make the technology appear safer. Resign from the project without informing anyone about the risk. So D may appear to be okay, but it doesn't help. My resignation doesn't help. Your resignation doesn't help. So we need to think of fix also. That's why B has to be correct. Disclose the environmental risks to the public as per IEEE's ethical guidelines. I hope you have been enjoying learning as well as you see that these are the real realistic cases. If you think of this one, potential harmful effects to the environment, there have been cases in the world in the last few years. An automotive company, big name, for over 100 years perhaps, but they lied on their fumes, their exhaust from the vehicle, from the car. Perhaps they didn't have any IEEE member there, otherwise it wouldn't have happened. That's why IEEE is a great organization. Next case says, you notice that a team leader is consistently assigning more challenging and high-profile tasks to employees of a particular gender, while others are left out of opportunities for growth. We can understand once again, so close to our life, gender equality is being talked here. What is the best course of action? Report the discriminatory behavior to your HR or leadership team. This is discrimination. Ignore it as it doesn't affect you personally. Once again, none of my business is not correct. Confront the team leader aggressively. So aggression is not correct. Support the team leader in their decisions to avoid conflict. A is most appropriate. Report the discriminatory behavior to your HR or leadership team or whoever is the appropriate person in your organization, because it may be different in different organizations. 10th case says, situation is after reporting a violation of the IEEE Code of Conduct, you notice that you are being treated unfairly by colleagues and your supervisor is withholding opportunities as retaliation. Once again, this can happen in any organization. So what shall you do in such a situation? You reported a violation and then you are being mistreated. Confront your colleagues and supervisor aggressively. So aggression will tell us this is not appropriate. Report the retaliation to the appropriate ethics or HR department, ethics department or HR department. Accept the retaliation as the price of doing the right thing. As we say, truth is difficult, or speaking truth is difficult, or there's a cost to speaking truth, but C is also not appropriate. B is correct. Report the retaliation to the appropriate person or department. Toning down once again, what is one of the paramount principles emphasized in the IEEE Code of Ethics? Maximizing personal gain, prioritizing public safety and welfare. We have answered this question in a different way earlier, so B has to be correct. Thank you very much. Ignoring conflicts of interest is not allowed. Next one says, which of the following is not a commitment under the section of upholding integrity, responsibility, and ethical conduct in professional activities? Which of the following is not a commitment? So read carefully, please. Protecting the privacy of others. We must protect the privacy, so A cannot be correct. Striving to comply with ethical design and sustainable development practices. Maximizing profits without regard to consequences. C cannot be correct. Promptly disclosing factors endangering the public or environment. Not. C is correct in this option because there is a not. What is one of the responsibilities regarding technology emphasized in the IEEE COE? Avoiding all use of emerging technologies cannot be correct. IEEE works for advancing technology for humanity. Improving understanding of societal implications of technology. Limiting public access to technological advancements, again, C cannot be. And promoting biased views on technological advances, B cannot be. Bias is also to be avoided. So B is improving understanding of societal implications of technologies. This is one of the responsibilities that we all have according to the Code of Ethics. Which action is not advised regarding conflicts of interest according to the IEEE COE? Not at the top. Avoiding conflicts of interest whenever possible. Disclosing conflicts of interest to affected parties. Exploiting conflicts of interest for personal gain. Being transparent about conflicts of interest. Someone said D also. Not to be done. C, exploiting conflicts of interest for personal gain. So we must avoid. A is correct, conflicts of interest. We must disclose if there is. B is correct. And we must be transparent. D is correct. C is not to be done. What conduct is encouraged regarding technical work under the IEEE COE? And Dr. Ritika, request, I'm 5 minutes over already, but maybe 7 more minutes to go.
Sure, sir, no problem.
Thank you very much. A, ignoring errors and flaws in technical work cannot be correct. Thanks, no one is saying A, but there is C and D, competition between C and D. Rejecting all criticism of technical work. Seeking, accepting, and offering honest criticism. This is much better. Falsifying data to enhance technical work's credibility. Offering honest criticism is fine. At the same time, even providing honest criticism is to be done. Which principle emphasizes the importance of maintaining and improving technical competence? Fair treatment and non-discrimination. Avoiding harassment or discrimination. Seeking honest criticism and maintaining technical competence. Read it again, please. I'll wait for a few seconds. Which principle emphasizes the importance of maintaining and improving technical competence? I think I didn't see D. D. Which principle emphasizes the importance of maintaining and improving technical competence? So it has to be maintaining technical competence. Next one says, you are tasked with reviewing a technical report prepared by a colleague and you notice several errors and inaccuracies. How should you address this situation in accordance with our COE? Ignore the errors and inaccuracies to avoid conflict. Conflicts are to be avoided, yes. We learned that a lot in the past hour or so. But errors and inaccuracies are not to be ignored. This may create a conflict, and we need to manage it in a different way. Point out the errors and inaccuracies to your colleague privately and offer assistance in correcting them. This is the way out. Conceal the errors. Don't conceal the errors, please. Next one says, should individuals retaliate against those who report a violation of the IEEE Code of Ethics? Retaliation is not allowed. We may not like some situations in life, but we must not retaliate. Aggression is not allowed. What does the IEEE Code of Ethics emphasize regarding the treatment of colleagues? Favoritism? No. Supporting colleagues? Why not? Engaging in competitive behavior? And excluding colleagues from professional activities? No way. So it has to be most appropriate, supporting colleagues in following the code. All of us may not understand every point equally well. So you know it better than me. You will help me, support me, so that I also follow the code correctly, appropriately. Number 10 says, what is not encouraged regarding the treatment of others under the IEEE COE? Fairness and respect. I expect that people are fair to me and respect me. So A is correct, but because of not, we will skip this. We need to be fair and respectful. Discrimination based on personal preferences. So I see B is coming up. Avoidance of harassment. Harassment is to be avoided. And non-discriminatory behavior. Our behavior should be non-discriminatory. So what is the right option? Discrimination based on personal preferences is not encouraged. Number 11, which action is not in accordance with the principles, so again not, of the IEEE COE regarding criticism of technical work? What is not to be done? Acknowledging and correcting errors, seeking honest criticism, falsifying data to discredit others' work. I start C's start coming in. Thank you very much. And crediting properly the contributions of others. We must give due credits to others if we have used their work. So C is the answer to this question. So this is where I would like to stop. Thank you very much. A repetition, most important for everyone. We all need to live to the ethics equally. No difference between you, me, Dr. Ritika, Professor Hoda, chair of the section, or executive committee of the section. If you have any questions about these discussions or anything about IEEE, please feel free to write and I'll be happy to respond. If required, we will schedule a special session around that and we'll be coming back to you. And the last repetition once again, the Golden Jubilee celebrations. Please look at the special page on Delhi section that has been created. Endless opportunities exist. You can do a lot without even discussing with us or without our help, but you can. And you can provide inputs to us also. Throughout the year, activities are going to happen. These webinars every Saturday are just one of those activities. There will be fun activities also, by the way, and there will be competitions also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'm sure this insightful session today, which has been very interactive, has enlightened the participants about the importance of ethics, integrity, and how IEEE maintains the same through its code of conduct. There is one important question I'd like to take up with your permission, sir.
Yes, please.
How does IEEE ensure real-life implementation of all its ethics?
The answer is easy, Dr. Ritika. While action is difficult, I will not deny that. And that's why there is so much focus. That's why we have scheduled this session, and we will do more if required. Because as human beings, we have a tendency to forget also. I'm including myself as well. Every time I pick it up and my understanding goes up. So this is what IEEE does. That movie came from IEEE. It's on IEEE TV, readily available to all of us. While it is dated 2 years old, one change that has happened, I immediately said that there are about 500,000 members across globe. Implementing is through training, awareness, and there is an exam or assessment or test that they are ethics champions. That's what we do to help IEEE get this implemented.
Absolutely. That's a wonderful way of ensuring that all this is implemented. So thank you so much, sir. It has been a wonderful and a very interactive session. And I would say even my knowledge has enhanced about how well the IEEE Code of Ethics are in place across, I would say, all different type of cases of unethical things that can happen in the present world. So thank you so much, sir. And we would not be ending this session before we thank sir. Huda sir would have loved to do the honors, but he is busy today. So sir, please accept this certificate from BVI CAM as a token of remembrance for this wonderful session today.
Thank you very much.
And we also have a small e-memento. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again for this wonderful session today. I am sure this will be etched in mind of all the participants because this has been a really interactive and interesting session which has guided all of us once again about the importance of ethics even in the present world. Though I would say we are living in a world of generative AI where everybody is being pushed towards learning it, but ethics and integrity are the core value of human life, and they still hold importance in the present times also and shall always hold so. This has been reiterated by this webinar today. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful session.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, with this, we have come to an end to this wonderful session today. The feedback form link for the certificate of participation generation has already been shared with all the participants. I hope participants have started filling out the same. Please submit the feedback form. Please fill in your details in the feedback form carefully. Avoid making any mistakes because any mistakes that you make, they are directly reflected into your certificates. So please avoid making any mistakes. Fill in your feedback form carefully, submit the same, and your certificate would be emailed into your inbox in a matter of few seconds. Please do not leave this meeting room till the time you do not receive your certificate of participation in your inbox. In case after submitting your feedback form, you do not receive your certificate of participation in your inbox, please check your spam folder. If it is there in the spam folder, mark it as not spam. And if you even don't find it in the spam folder, please ensure that you share your email ID with all participants in the chat window. We are there to help you with the same. Dear participants, I repeat, we have already shared the feedback link in the chat window. Please fill the same carefully and submit the same to generate your certificate of participation. You will get the certificate of participation as an email attachment in your inbox. Once you receive the same, you're most welcome to leave the meeting room with the promise to join us back on 7th of June, which is the date for our next webinar, next Saturday.